Hey, I'm Morgan Richards from Radio Cardiff, and I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined now live on the phone by a man who's escalated the meaning of campfire punk rock. It's, of course, the one and only Mr. Frank Turner.
Hi there.
Hey, Frank, you okay?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. I just got back from making an album in Texas. I've had just over 24 hours at home, and then I'm going to Germany to play a festival.
All right, travels all around then.
Yes, it's busy as ever, but I mean, I'd much rather be busy than bored, so very happy about that.
Yeah, oh, of course. So, Frank, as you mentioned, you're gearing up to head back on the road this time around, supporting Blink-182 across the UK's biggest arenas throughout July, taking you through to another summer full of festivals. I know you've been a great admirer of Blink back in your youth, covering Damn It Live from time to time. Is this just going to be a fun run that you just can't wait to get on?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised that getting onto that tour worked so easily. I saw the tour dates get announced, and I thought to myself, I want a piece of that. And I managed to kind of sort of bypass the usual structures of the music industry. Usually, a sports lot for something like that goes through sort of agents and managers and promoters and all the people in suits. But I saw the tour dates, and I happened to know Matt Skiba from Alkaline, who's now in Blink,
Hmm.
personally. So I just dropped him a text and said, sort us out, mate. And before you knew it, I wasn't expecting it to work, but it did work. So kudos to Skiba for that, and I'm very excited about the tour.
Oh, that's amazing. And of course, you've supported the likes of Green Day in your career and have headlined Wembley in the O2 in London yourself. But when playing with some of these kind of poppier punk acts, do you quite try to change up your gear from a normal show?
You know, that's has been a dilemma for me over the years because on the one hand, you want to put your best foot forward and you want to sort of impress the audience that you're playing to. But on the other hand, I don't want to sort of like misrepresent what I do to a bunch of people. And there's part of me that just thinks, screw it, I'm just going to be who I am, and that's that. I mean, I guess in the end, I sort of fall somewhere between those two ideas. I'm going to try and play a set that will appeal to those Blink fans who don't know who I am, but I'm not going to change who I am or what I do in any particular way. I'm just going to try and play the best set that I can.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And of course, as you mentioned, you spent the last month with your bandmates in the Sleeping Souls in Texas recording material towards your seventh studio album.
Yeah.
How did the process go, and what can you really tell us about the new material at the moment?
Well, I mean, the process was fantastic. I mean, the first thing is I feel very lucky to still be making records, 7 records in, and I felt as inspired and as driven and as challenged by making music as I ever have done. So I'm very excited about finishing the process. I mean, we've recorded 13 songs; they're not mixed yet. I'm not yet 100% sure whether that's all the material I'm going to want for the new album. So I'm being a little sort of cautious about saying that we're done and completely, but what we did came out really well. I've definitely this time around trying to push myself into new territory. I've been playing with some different influences. There's quite a lot of soul feel to the record. There's quite a lot of kind of more electronic beat-driven ideas as well. So it's sort of out of my comfort zone as a writer and as a player. But it was a great time. The producers I was working with were completely amazing, and I'm excited about the record getting finished.
Okay, so for now, we just jotting down all those ideas, listening back, and see where it takes you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I need to kind of sit on it for a little bit. I'm in a fortunate position that there's no sort of gigantic hurry for me to finish the record and get it out, and I've got time to sort of make sure that it's 100% right and 100% what I want it to be. So that's what I'm doing.
And last time I spoke to you, you told me how you'd almost written a concept album accidentally, and intrigued where that was going to take you. Is these material kind of followed on from that?
Actually, no. So basically, I finished writing a concept record that was sort of, I won't go any further than that. It's finished, it's written, but I put it on a shelf simply for the time being, simply because since starting to write that, the world went completely insane last year and indeed this year. And it sort of struck me that for the first time in a long time, I've sort of shied away from writing any sort of politically influenced material for quite a long time. But, the world has changed, and I felt sort of driven to address things that are actually happening in the world right now. So this is a different suite of songs, but that concept record type idea is still there and on the shelf, and I think that would be the next thing that I do.
Okay, well, intrigued to see what comes out when.
Yeah, well, it's lovely to have sort of 2 albums in the bag, as it were. It means that not that I'm actually going to do this, but it means that I feel slightly like I could put my feet up as a writer for a little while.
And with all that, of course, just recently you had a documentary film titled Get Better come out by yourself, which is going to be coming out on DVD very soon. You've done a few books and stuff like this outside of music in the past. Was there anything else of a kind of project you'd like to sink your teeth into?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I try and keep my mind and my options open to all this kind of thing. New projects and new ideas are always exciting and interesting and challenging for me. Making music and making records and touring them is always going to be the center of what I do. But having the film out and having a book out, and I've been thinking about trying to write a second book. I've got ideas for side projects. So Mongol Horde, the hardcore side project I did a few years ago, is starting to just about sort of rumble back into existence again at the moment. I've got another side project to do on the go. There's a lot of hours in the day. You know what I mean? So I sort of try and keep myself busy.
Yeah, just keeping busy as you've always been.
Exactly.
And with all that now, as you mentioned, you're just touring throughout the summer, being in Germany, and then Blink tour, and then all the summer festivals. But is there anything else we can really expect from Frank Turner now coming up?
Well, I mean, once I finish my summer, I've got a tour in the States with a singer called Jason Isbell, who's one of my favourite people and songwriters in the world, so I'm very excited about that. And after that, my entire focus is going to be on getting this record ready to go, and hopefully it'll be out right at the start of next year.
Okay, well, fantastic. Well, that's about it. Cheers, Frank, for talking to me.
My pleasure. Nice to talk to you.
You too. Best luck now with everything, and hopefully I'll catch you very soon.
Cool. Thank you very much, man. Take it easy.